This video is brought to you by U23CoLangs Academic Committee, Computer Engineering Department, by tutor Zugo, with the aid of other committee members, which is videoed by David and also others. Let's start to do the first isometric drawing. As we all know, to do an isometric drawing, we will still have to use the same method to have our plane of 30, and 90 degrees. And as always, as we said, we first draw our 90-degree line, which is perpendicular to the base line of 180 degrees. Then we make this, and then we'll now do the 30-degree line, which is this. Same thing here. Make sure it is correct. So there is a little bit of a mistake here. And rectify it. So here it is. So first of all, we are going to read the drawing. This is the first isometric drawing given to us. The paper is a little bit rough. Firstly, we are going to calculate the total length given to us. As you can see from this drawing, the total length can be computed from the top view or from the front view. On the top view, we have this side to be 45 millimeter, and from here to the center of the cylinder is 65. When we sum them up, we have 110, and the diameter of the cylinder is given as 50. As you can see from the side view here, is 50. So the radius is now going to be 25. When we sum 45 plus 65 plus 25, it's going to give us 135. That is our total length. And then we are going to now take the width. It's already given as 90, and the total height is given to us as 96. So now we are going to measure 135. Always when drawing, here let's name it x-axis, here y-axis, and here to be our z-axis. Across the x-axis we have our length, where the length is given as 135, which is 13.5 centimeter. So now here, strike it, and then the next one we have the width as 90 millimeter, which is 9 centimeter. So now I'm going to make it like this, 90, and the height is 96. But before then, we can choose to draw 96 and do everything all together. But because this line is going to be, we have a cylinder standing up, we have two cylinders, so we are going to first draw the bigger cylinder. So now, to get the length of the bigger cylinder, here, the length of the smaller cylinder at the top is given as 16. So we take 96 minus 16, which is 80. So now we're now going to measure 80 to have the height of the bigger cylinder. When we are done drawing the height of the bigger cylinder, we'll now move forward to draw the smaller cylinder. We are doing this to make the space very clean and neat for us. So now, the best method or the simpler method to make this is by using a compass. It's more faster and efficient. But you can still use your 30-60 set square. So when I make here, and then cut an arc here, and then with this, I measure this length, and then cut an arc here. You can choose your preference, as I said. You can use your 30-60 set square to make all those our lines. So now it's here at center, I will cut an arc. So now the next thing is for me to join these 2 points here. When I join these 2 points here, we can see that our line, the length is going to be parallel. These lines are what? Parallel. So now coming to the width, I'm going to join these 2 points here. So now this width is now going to be parallel. Now, as we all know, we are going to have to draw from each edge here. We are going to make a vertical line to have our 4 sides. So now, draw a vertical line here going upward. You don't need measurement, just measure it upward. Just draw the line upward. And then you come at this point also. You want to draw a line upward. And at this point also, you take a line vertical. As you can see, all those lines are parallel to each other. Now, in each of the lines, we are going to measure 80. Once we measure 80, we take the height of our bigger cylinder. Now, here we measure 80. Or else, we can use a compass, since we already have the measurement of this one, to make our work faster. So here is 80, right? And then with this, here we strike an arc. 80, here, strike an arc, here, strike an arc. So now we join all the points. Join all the points. Now, something like this. When joining the point, you can use your 30-60 square to do so. And then now join these points, and also these 2 points. Okay. So as you can see, these lengths are also parallel to each other. And then we make the width here, because this is the axis, which is going to be like this. Okay. Now, from our drawing, the most complicated thing to do here is the cylinder. So let's start with it to do the bigger cylinder. Now, the cylinder diameter is given as 50, and it starts at this edge here. Therefore, I want to take it from this edge here. We measure 50. And as we all know, drawing a cycle on an isometric plane, it's going to look like it's going to be an ellipse. I want to draw an ellipse, and therefore, and draw the ellipse. I want to draw a square with the same diameter of the cycle, that is 50 millimeter. Now, I'm going to now measure 50 millimeter from here. Measure 50 millimeter from here. 50. So now, and also, this is for the base. I want to do the same thing for the top side. So I can take all those things simultaneously, or I can do them separate. But let's do them separate. Then when we measure this, you can use your 30, 60 set square. So I say they are very, very important. It is very, very important in isometric drawing. So something like this. Any line you draw is going to be parallel to each other, because here, now just strike it like this. So here is 50 and 50. So now you bisect this line into two. Divide this into two, it is given as 90. Do it. The lines of here is 90. And I'm now going to measure 45, which is the half of it. We measure 45. So this is the half of this. And from that half, we measure 25 across the sides. So we can measure 25 here. Let me put it at exactly 2.5, so that I can be able to strike in both sides at once. Here, I put this in 50, 25. It's also my 25. Now, the next thing to do, you see that this square is going to be at the center. Now, you carry your 30, 60 set square and make it. If you wish, you can measure the same thing, divide this into 2 and still make 25 up and down. Then you use a ruler and strike if you don't have set square. But if you have it, to be a little bit more easier, then you just run this point and then strike here. Then you come for this one also, the middle one, and then you strike. You may not even need it. For the middle one, you just make a sign here. That's this divided into 2. And then for this one, you now strike it like this. Okay, that's it. Now, I want to divide this line into 2 also. Divide this line into 2, which is going to be what? 25. So now you measure 25 from one side. So here, I measured my 25. So using my set square, like this, I will then strike a line that passes through this. Cut this, and then cut this. So now, the next thing to do is to make the line across the diagonal, this small angle here. So now here, I'm going to draw a line that cuts across the diagonal. Now, take it like this. Just move a little bit away. So let me still do it again. So here it is. Now you connect these 2 points here, with this one. You can choose either way. You can choose to do with this, and also this. You can choose to do with this and this. Anyone you do, it connects. Now, take these 2 points and then connect them like this. Then come to the next one and connect it like this. Okay. Now, with this, you now put it at center. This point at center where it's cut through the diagonal line. And there is another method of doing this also, but this one is way more easier. So I'm using it, and since it's easier and also efficient, we're going to now use it throughout our drawing. So now, center. Now press it like this. Sorry, I make it a little bit darker for you to see, but it shouldn't be dark, because some of those lines are going to be hidden. Not hidden, they are going to be covered by other lines. So make this a little bit lighter, dark as that other one. So now you connect this point also. And the next thing is for you to come here and do the same thing here. Sorry. Okay. Okay, with this at center, we're going to make another arc here. Sorry. Hope it's clearly seen. Now it's at center, we'll make another arc connecting these 2 points. So this is the base of our cylinder. Next, we now draw the top side of the cylinder. When you do the same thing here, you can project this line upward, control this, you can do this same thing, or you measure 50 also here. So we measure 50 here. This is 50. You can divide into 2, which is 25. At the same time, to divide into 2 to make our work faster. So now, using your 30, 60 set square, you cut across this line like this. Take this line, control here. And the next thing is to divide this line into 2. It's given us 90. 90 by 2 is 45. And you measure 45 from one side. 45 from here. in that 45, you are going to take 25 upward and 25 downward. Then to do this in a more easier way, than striking it, you just take your 25 up and down. You will take here 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then of course here we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's it. And the next thing to do is to also take this line to cut through. Then to have your square at the top. Now, take this line, you bisect it like this. So now, the next one, you come to this one and also do the same thing here. At this point here, half. This is already divided into 2. I want to divide this into 2 also. But let me confirm something. That this is correct or not. So here, there's a little bit of mistake here. This is the point 25. I observe it from the drawing. Here now, let's get rid of this line, which is a mistake line here. So now let me confirm this one also. Yeah, this is given as 25. Okay. So now let's connect this point. So we have to be very careful with the line. Sometimes any error can be observed like this. An error of 0.5 centimeter can be clearly seen. An error of like 1 millimeter or 2 can be lost. Until when we come to the end, we may start to notice such kinds of error. So now, we're now going to divide this into 2 also. We measure 25 from one side and cut it. So now here, 25 here. Okay, I've already cut it in the beginning. So now I can use my 3060 set square to bisect the line. You see that our interested line is not this one, but this one. So I'm going to cut this one, also cut this. Now the next thing is to draw a line that passes through diagonal, like this. So now I will bisect it here. So now, next thing to do is to connect those 2 points with the bigger angle, the obtuse, not the smaller angle, like this. So you can see diagonal is between the 2 smaller angles, whereas this line is going to be with the bigger angle. So now go on with this one and also cut it. Now using your compass, you can come here from this point here. You will now cut an arc, make an arc, not cut an arc, make an arc. And then come to this point also, other points, and then do the same thing to cut an arc, to make an arc. Sorry. Okay. So now you make your bigger arc here. So you make your bigger arc here. Okay, that's it. Now we have the base and the top of the cylinder. Now the next thing to do is to connect those 2 points. You can take it like this to connect them. That is tangent to each other. You connect them. This is also going to be a construction line, very thin one. In the case of this one, you can make it darker because it's at the edge and it's going to be clearly seen, visible. So let me just make it darker here. Turn it up doing it. Okay. So now we've drawn our bigger cylinder, which is one of the most complicated things. And the next thing is to draw the smaller cylinder. You can choose to do it or to do the body first. But because of time, since the exam factor, let's do the body before we draw the smaller cylinder at the top, in case time of a mid-grade exam. So at least if you've drawn the body, it shows that you at least do something. So now, to do the body, now look at the front view. In the front view, this length here, at the top we can see it from the top view, sorry. Here is given as what, 45. And this here is given as what, 10. Before then, come back to our front view. Look at the height. You see that this length here, this thing here, right angle here, that's passed through the cylinder. It's penetrating into the cylinder, leaves a certain length downward from the cylinder. It's not connected to the base, but at somewhere, not the middle, somewhere bottom part. So now, from here to upward, how do we get it? Let's compute it. The total length here is what? It's 40. We want to find the length of here. This place given. It's not given here. Since here is 40, and the length of here is what? 30. 30 plus 40 is what? 70. Then the length of this smaller cylinder, which is the final height here, is 16. And when we sum them up, we are going to have total height is given as 90. 90 minus 40 minus this 30 here minus 16 is going to give us 10, which is 90 minus 8, 96. Sorry, 96 minus 80, which is 10. Now you now measure 10 from each side of the cylinder. With your lines, measure 10 here. I'm going to do the same thing here. Measure 10 here. You can use your compass. Do so, measure 10 here. You can measure 10 here. Anyone that you find more easier, more convenient to you, you can use it. You measure 10 here, and then measure 10 across this line here. Measure 10 here. That's it. Now the next thing, you connect the points. Connect these 2 points here. This. And then you connect these 2 points here. Also. And then now you connect these 2 points also. And now connect these 2 points also. So this will give you these heights of the bottom of the cylinder here, which is 10. Now the next thing to do is to draw this, which is 40 millimeter. So I'm going to now take the 40 millimeter upward from your point 10 here. You take 40 millimeter. You can use compass for this. So from here to here is 40, and you can use this one here also. Strike an arc here. From this point, I want to strike an arc here. From this point, I want to strike an arc here. I will now connect those points also. I will now connect those points here with this. Now connect them. I will now connect this point also. And then we will now connect those 2 points also. And we will now connect those 2 points also. As I've said earlier, whenever we cut any line in the vertical, on contour we are going to cut all the 4, as well as level, as well as the z-axis and the z-axis. Now, in here, as we can see, the length here, which is given as 45, here we are going to draw it from here, 45. Also from here, 45, right? I'll check from here, 45, also from here. Well, I'm going to take from here, yes. So now I'm going to measure 45 from here, that is from the base here, down the downside. So I'm going to now measure 45 millimeter. So measure 45 from here. This is your 45. And then you can measure 45 here from the top or from the down, all the same. Anyone you do is correct. First, you use your set square. If you don't have set square, you can still measure the top side here with 45 and then measure the downside 45. Now with this, I will just draw a vertical line going upward, which will give me another line at the top, which is also 45. So now, like this. So this line here is 45. So I can start to make this darker because it's going to be darker anyway. But let's leave it and continue. This one also, I'm going to make this one in line because it's at the back. Not all that will be seen. So touching this place here, the upper part. Now, what next? The next thing to do is to connect these 45 points here. Now connect them. You connect those 2 points here. Okay. Okay. Now, from the drawing also, we've done this part here, then this part here. So from the top view, we can see that this line here is 10. This line is 10. It goes inward here. 10, 10. I'm not going to take 10 here, and then push it to the other side. And as earlier said again, if you are using only ruler, you take from here, I want to take the same thing here, but you can use your set square to just drag it. So let me take 10 on one side and 10 from the other side. So I've taken 10 here. Also, I'll take 10 from this side. So using your 30-60, you can drag the line to go inward. Okay, the line is too light, you know the same. So I make it a little bit darker. All those lines are going to be construction lines. Okay, so now take this one also inward. So this is this point here. This is what I just read here. And here. So now the next thing is to draw this line here. How do we get that? What is the distance? So now, as you can see, from this point here, from here, that's here, it goes downward is the hidden line here, as given. We know the length of the inner length here is not given. So from here, this is the hidden line, it passes through here, you can see it. And from here, from this edge to the center of this hole, is 20, which means from here to here is going to be 20. The length inside is 40. So now we measure 40 from here, because this line here, we measure 40 millimeter. 40 millimeter here. And then do the same thing for this one also, 40 millimeter here. So then now you connect them too. I'm going to connect them with a construction line. Construction line. I want to begin some at the end. So construction line, we connect them. So now The next thing to do is to observe this middle here is given us, from here, this middle here is given us 30 millimeter. So now, what are we going to do? I'm going to bisect this line into two and take 15 up and down and then push it inward. You can take from any line you wish. So this is the line we are using. Now, you can use this line also, but this one is more clearly seen outward. Let's use this one. It'll be more visible. So let's divide this into two. You know, the width is given us what, 90. Then you take what, 45 from one side. When you take 45 from one side, which means you take half of it. It is bisected. Now, you use your 30-60 to push the line inward. This line inward. Okay, that's it. Now, from this line, you are going to take your 15 upward and 15 downward. As you can see, this line bisects through this line, right? Let me take 15 from here. It's more clearly seen. You can take it here. You can take it here. Because this has entered into the line, so it might be confusing. Let's do it here. So if I take, the total length is 50, right? The total is 30, right? So now I take 15 here, this to 30, 15 here. And that is it. I used to do this simultaneously to make my work faster. I can try to take one side 15 and then the other side 15, but if I take from any point and then take from here up and down, it makes my work faster. So now, from here, I can start to take a line inward. You can do it, but just observe that your line is touching this one, is 45. So that goes inward. With, sorry, the inner one, this one that goes length of 30, then you want to drag it inward. From this point, as you can see here, so you drag this inward. But there are certain lines where you stop. You can stop anywhere without going to the end. So also, take from this one also, from this point you take a line inward, stop at any point. So you have your two lines here. So now, the next thing to do is, okay, this is the line I'm supposed to take, this, but not this, so there's no problem. Here's the line here, this point here, and this point here. And this one, maybe if you do it with this point, it's not going to bring any problem. So now, the next thing to do is to draw this line, also the 45 line going inward. We don't know its length. We don't know the. So let's start making our work darker. Or let me make one more construction line to start making it darker so that it will give more sense. So we've drawn this line that goes inward. We'll not cover it at the end because we don't know what the length it stop. This is the line here, this line here, this is it as we drew. Now the next thing is to take this line inward, touching the cylinder. But from here to here, there is a certain distance of which we don't know. How do we get it? Here is given as 90, right? And the diameter of the cylinder is 50. Therefore, if you take 90 minus 50, it's going to give you 40. Then 40 divided by 2, since across two sides, is going to give you what? 40 over 2 is 20. So I'm going to take 20 from here, 20 from here. This means this is 20 and this is 20. Likewise, from here to here is going to be 20, from here to here is going to be 20. You can compute that as well. To compute that, you can take 90 minus this 30 here, minus this 10, minus this 10. You are still going to have 40. 40 by 2, 20. So anyway, the width is still the same. So now, I'm going to measure this length here inward, 20 millimeter inward. So that is this line here. I'm going to measure 20 millimeter inward. So 20 millimeter is given at this point here. And then 20 millimeter from here is given at this point here. So now I'll take it touching the cylinder. So now to do that, I'm going to make a mold line. Let me do a construction line here also. For I will now do the mold line. So now whenever I touch the cylinder, that's where you are going to stop for this one. For this one, I'm going to take it inward, just take it to the cylinder. And now let's now darken the spaces to see our drawing more clearly. Now we can start with the base here. And now let's darken this place. This darker. So from your drawing, if you start, you will know what and what will be. Some will be dark, while some may not be dark. Okay. Like this. Line 45. Here. Maybe similar to the other one. Line 45. It can be clearly seen here. Make it darker. Okay. I want you to draw your line. 20 here. Maybe parallel. 20. If you've done it at least for once, you will know which lines are going to be darker, which ones are going to be construction line. So in the case of exam, you can just draw those that are dark to make them darker streaks, as far as since you have already packed them. For the sake of tutorial, we are following all the protocols to make the lines point. So now we take for this 40 millimeter also, and I'm going to take it inside like this, make it darker. Yes. And then for this one also, we'll now make it darker. So now also this one, as you see, our point is given. This is the point of 20 as we measured earlier. So now also we are going to strike a line inward like this, and then this one also strike it inward like this. So there it is. Now we can make this from the front at the top. Consider these lines are connected. These lines are connected. Therefore, we are going to connect them. So we connect these 2 points like this. Okay. Okay. Oh. And the next thing to do is to connect these 2 points also. So you can see we move straight downward. Stop at this point here. Yeah. So my pencil is a little bit thin. So then okay. So now you are going to now connect these 2 points. Also this point also make it dark. We are using a 3B pencil as I said earlier. So we're going to now better also with it. So now to make this point here goes down, you can measure 10 here, 10 here, and then connect them. You can use your set square to connect the points here. It's way more easier to use the set square to do that. Like this. Connect this. And then the next one, I'm going to connect this also. Sorry. So connect this. And then this side also, we will now connect them here. And this point. See as I'm drawing, it's now coming out, right? It's now coming out. And then we connect those 2 points also. And those points. Here and here. Then this top, connect this also, make it darker. You see, this is the reason why we see the base of the cylinder, we draw our lines in construction line. You can see the base of the cylinder is covered. Those lines here. This one, which I didn't make it darker, is going to be covered. So now, the next thing to do, you can make this one also darker. Make this dark. Center of the cylinder. Ideally, as you can see from here, the length from this 45 points here to the center of the cylinder is given as 65. So I'm going to measure 65 from here inward, and from here inward. But since the cylinder is covering the other part of 65, draw the line anyway it touches the cylinder, you stop there. Because you see that this line is not up to 65, right? It's not up to 65. It's around to something. Because the line touches the cylinder from the back, and the cylinder is covering it, so therefore it cannot be seen. So now the next thing to do is to draw this line, also extend it inward of 65 millimeter. So now you measure from here. You're going to measure 65 millimeter. This is 65. Then you can make it darker from the 65 points. Make it dark like this. Okay. So this is it. Now, after doing this, you see that this line goes down a little bit, right? You might be confused that this is a pure rectangle from the view. How can we have a rectangle here? So what's this is that? If you are to raise it to view it at completely 180 degrees straight, I want to see this rectangle, right? But this is a 3D view. So now this points from here to here, so this from here to here. I see here like this inward. Then how are we going to do it? We are going to measure. You can just use your 60, 30 degrees to just draw a vertical line downward. Draw a vertical line from this point. Draw a vertical line downward. So now there it is. Right. Now we'll measure 40 millimeter from the top here, making it 40. We'll measure 40 millimeter. Here. Measure 40 millimeter. This is where the 40 stops. 40. We will now connect this 40 with this. Using your set square, do it. Have a parallel line. The line of the parallel, the one under. All lines are parallel lines to each other, and they cut to each other at angle 30 degrees. Now we connect this point here, like this. I make this dark. That's very speaking. So now let's connect these points. Make this darker, right? So we've already connected them. Darker. Now I'm going to make this one also to be dark. So make it also dark. Place just feel very well. Let's remove this lighting away. Okay. So here we have it. Now this goes inward to it. This also is going to draw a line that comes downward. So just use your set square to draw it. Since this is given as 40, any line you draw downward is going to be 40. You can draw a construction and then you measure the length to be 40. And this, take it downward a bit. right? Then you measure the length of 40, then connect them. Here you measure length of 40. This is it. So we are going to darken this. Going to darken this. Make this darker. And then you connect these points here. Okay. So now, the next thing to do is to take this line inward as well as this outward. How do we know the length to which this goes inward? It is not given. Therefore, we have to compute it. Now, how do we do so? We can see from the top view here, to switch downward, it comes here as one hidden line, right? And the length from this hidden line to the center of the cylinder is 35. Let's keep it in the back of our mind, 35. And the length from this side here to here is what? Is 65, right? So now, still, we have two data, right? From here to the center of the cylinder is 65, and from this, the center line, you can see in the front view, from the center of the cylinder is also 35. Now, this point here, as we compute, is what? Is 5 millimeter. Why? Because here to here is 45, and from here to here is 40. Therefore, here is going to be 5. Now, compute it. Now say 35 plus 65 minus 35. So which means this length minus this, are going to get this distance. So it means from here to here is going to be, here to here is going to be 65 minus 35, which is equal to 30. Right? Now, we have additional 5 from here to here. As you see, here to here is 45, here to here is what? 40. So 45 minus 5 is what? 5. And so 45 minus 40 is equal to 5. When we add this, 30 plus 5, we have 35. Therefore, the length here, we are going to extend it to 45 millimeter. Sorry, 35 millimeter. So now, I'm going to measure this length of 35 millimeter inward. There, this here it is. So now, I measure this one also of 35 millimeter. As I said, you can use your test square to just cut them off. Now I choose to do this. I can use one method to do it, depending on which one you find more easier to use at that particular time. So now, this line is connected. You can make it bold. It's going to be bold, visible, as it can be seen here. It's clearly seen bold. And then now we are going to connect the points here and here. We make the connections here. So connect the points here. And then we connect this here. It is. Now, this line that goes vertically downward, this line vertically downward, how to draw another line that goes downward. How do we do so? We're going to measure just using your 30-60. This is very, very important isometric drawing. 30-60. As you can see, we haven't used 45-90 yet, because it is not needed here. The 30-60 is very vital here. So now measure, let's take it downward. What's going to happen is, I'm going to measure this length here is 40. Since you have a parallel line here passing here, this is going to be 40. But let's leave it and measure it to confirm. So this line here is going to pass, it should be 40 downward. But since it's blocking this line, this drawing here is blocking it, so I want to make a bold line. Wherever it touches it, we stop there. The other line cannot be seen because it's being blocked. So now we draw a vertical line downward here, and we stop here. That is it. Also, this line from inside, it goes downward of the same height of 40 millimeter. But this line to here is less than 40. We just draw the line vertically downward to connect them. So now I'm going to make this bold. Also, like this, making it bold. So here it is. So now let's measure this to confirm that is this 40. So now, as you can see here, it's clearly 40. We now connect these 2 points here, which is your 40. So now I'm going to connect those 2 points here. This is it. Connect it, and then let's make this darker. Right? Okay. Okay. Make this darker. So this line here, as you can see, from this line here goes inward, right? Of 65 line here, it goes inward. Likewise, this line goes inside. This one is going to be the same thing. This one is being blocked by this one, that's why it's less than 40. And also this one is going to extend inside the cement of this. So you now take this line inward and take this line, then you take it inward. So this, use this your 30. It's very important. It's very vital here. So just take it. Since you can't draw 65 to go inward, length is this one is already blocking it. So you stop anywhere it's stopped. Now you have the body of the drawing. Or you have 2 holes here, which you are going to come and draw them for the end of the drawing. So now let's move back to our cylinder and complete it. The reason why I come to do this body, even if you leave it like this in the exam, so at least you do something very tangible which can be seen. So now instead of wasting more time doing the smaller cylinder, doing this, bring more mark like so. And now from here to here, as you can see, the cylinder goes a little bit inward. Just measure 10 millimeter down from here to here and then connect them. So now I'm going to measure just here. You can just measure or in arbitrary from here to here, 10 millimeter. You take it downward. So now I'm going to take it like this. This will be bold. Right? So ideally also, as we've done in one isometric, you are supposed to draw half square here in order to do your ellipse, to connect those points like this. But I don't have that time to do all those things. Therefore, we are going to use maneuver to pass through this. Let's just connect this using a set square. Let's connect it to a French curve. So sorry, like this. We connect this like this. It's going to give us what we want. So now it's straight. But you can go ahead if you have time to draw the square and make your ellipse. So now you take it like this. This comes for us, for mechanical engineering students, agricultural, which you need a drawing more than housing, computer, and telecom. So you're going to have to do it. So now here it is. Now we are done with the body of the cylinder. Now I want to draw the smaller cylinder at the top. I'm yet to complete this top of the cylinder because of some reason. Here also we have the remaining parts here. Complete it. I will do so. But let me complete the down one to make sure that I'm done with it. So from this point is where I want to take it, right? To cut this arc, right? This is already the drawing, so we can't cut through it. So we can start from this point here. So anyway, it touches the drawing, we stop. Sorry, until my compass bent. Okay. So now from this point, we are now going to draw my touch like this. Okay. And this. So come to this one also to make your line here. Only these needs to be seen. So let's go to this. Sorry, the compass is functioning. Okay. Okay. That is it. So now we have to draw the smaller cylinder. Let's draw the base of the smaller cylinder. The base lies at the top of the bigger cylinder. So now, and the diameter of the base is given to us as 35, which means 35 by 2 is the radius, which is 17.5, right? So now, this is the half of this, right? And this is the half of 50, half of this 50 also. And it's at the center of the bigger cylinder. Therefore, I want to draw a 35 diameter line at the center. How do we do so? We take radius, we take 75 up and down. So measure from here, we are going to measure 17.5. Let's use the compass to make our work a little bit more faster. So with the compass here, you measure this place. Make sure your compass is at least not fluctuating like mine, no? So now cut it here. Here you cut it. And then come backward. You see, cut this line. Yes. Come here. Let me see you confirm. But it has fluctuated a little bit. So let me see. Check my values. This is correct. This one is correct. So let me cut this one here. This is the center. Let me cut it from here. Here, correct. And this. Now, let me cut here also. And from here, cut here. And we confirm this also. Yeah, confirm. Now we have to connect all those points. Let's connect all those points. So you take this and this, you connect them together. This. Take this also, you connect them together. So take these two also, you connect them together. You take this also and connect it together. So now you see that we have a square at the center of the upper parts of the bigger cylinder. So now you bisect this into two. Bisect it into two. How do you do this one? Here you have a point, right? You can use the 30, 60 degree. Do like this, in this manner. Do like this here. And therefore you can cut this line here, cut this line here also. The next thing is to cut across this and this. So you put your in here. Since once you get bisected here, you can see it. So we now cut this and then cut this. So now I want to cut it across the diagonal, connect these 2 points across the diagonal. So now here it is. You connect them. And the next thing to do is to also take from obtuse here. I already says you now connect these 2 points. So the is going to be right. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to connect these points also. So up here with this, making other lines. Yes. So now using our compass, I'm now going to connect those 2 points with an arc. So now connect this point with an arc. Okay. Come to the other side and connect the other point with an arc with here at center. Always you see where your line cuts through the diagonal. That's where you will take a center. Sorry, I'm mistaken. This is it. This is the point. So you now cut from here. Take it from here. Okay. Cut. Okay. So now I come with here at center. We will now cut this portion here. Connect these 2 points. Right. Okay. But here also at center, we will now connect these 2 points. Okay. Now we've drawn the base of the smaller cylinder. So now to draw the top of the smaller cylinder, as we drawn earlier, we said earlier, the bigger cylinder is 80 mm and the total height of our drawing is 96 mm. 96 mm. So now I'm going to add 16 from here. Here to here is 80, here to here is 80. So I'll add 16 here, 16 here, 16 here, and also 16 here. So let's do so. And I put 16 from here, I'll measure 16. Now you can measure 16 from this point and then using your set square, you now connect them. Here is my 16. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to measure 16 mm here. 15 here, 16. So I'm going to do the same thing here. At this point, you're going to measure 16 mm. So you measure 16 here, and then from here also, we are going to measure 16 mm. Okay, that is it. Now the next thing to do is to connect those points. 16 draws done. So you can use your ruler, you can use the 30, 60 to connect them here. Connect it, and then here you will now connect it, and then here also you will now connect it, and then we connect this one also. So there it is. So at this top we are going to do the same thing here. Draw our 40, our 35 diameter, our 35 diameter top of the cylinder. So now let's divide like this line into two. This line is 90 millimeter. Dividing this into 2, we have 45, right? We bisect it. 45. And then next thing we have to measure 50 because here, right? Or we can measure from here and then take it down. I'm not going to measure 50. Let's take it from here. Right? Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 50. So using this, we will now connect. Our interest is just on the 35. But to make things look like the one we got the base at the top of the bigger cylinder, use similar method. That's what I'm drawing 50. I can decide to use the 35, but it needs a little bit more of centralization to centralize it. So now let's just do this method, just more easier. And we are used to it, right? Okay. So now the next thing is to then this line we can divide this into right, and we have this. So now what I'm going to do next, I'm going to measure 17.5, 17.5 up and down, right? Then here also we divide this into 2, takes 17.5 up and down. So now I want to first divide this into 2 by taking what? 25. Divide this into 2. When I measure 25 from here, I have divided this line into 2. So now the next thing is to take from this 25 and then take 17.5 up and down. Here 17.5. There it is. So I will take the same 17.5 here. Let me use a compass also. So now let's take it here. And turn my compass the other way around and then cut an arc here. And with this, I will cut an arc here and also here. So I have my 17.5 in all the sides. So now the next thing to do is to now connect this 17.5 here. Draw a line. Connect it here. Right? Okay. Draw this line. Connect them. And the next thing, I'm going to take this one also. going to then connect this point also. You see, this is the point, right? So this is our interest. And then, as you can see, this is also the point, right? But here is our interest. This line. And then bisect it into two. Since we bisected the other one, which is they are parallel, we bisect them. This one is going to be bisected also in the same manner. So now bisect this one using this bisection we have here. You can now just take they are parallel. So just cut it here and then cut this here. So now this is the point, right? This is the point. So now you make a line that passes through the diagonal. So now keep looking very carefully. This is our square. This is the half of it, right? So now we now connect across the diagonal. We connect these 2 points here and this. So here it is. Then the next thing is to connect this point like this to this. And this. And then we connect with this also. Point. Yeah. Okay, you connect this point like this also. So now you use your compass to now connect those 2 points like this. So I make it like this, right? So connect this one like this. This is it. You can make this darker. Sure? Let's make it thin also. If there is need, we now make it darker. Now we come to this place where they meet here. This is it. So you can see clearly, right? Pass through this and now it's cut. Pass through it like this. So you put your compass here at center and you now connect those 2 points. This point here. You connect it to 2 points. So compass is fluctuating. I have a mistake here. So make sure your compass is very working, not like this line. So now you connect those 2 points like this. And the next thing we are going to with this at center, this place center, right? Yeah, there it is. So we are going to now connect these points like this. These 2 points. And here at center, we're now going to connect those 2 points. So now you've drawn the top of your cylinder. Now make a line tangent to connect them. So now here it is. So, okay, there it is also. This is somehow I'm having an issue here. Yeah, it is too big. I'll just make a little bit of an angle here. Okay, we are now going to connect these 2 points here. And now connect them. So there it is. And the next thing to do, see you have your cylinder at top. So you can now darken everything. So for this one, you can just to make it more dark than this. Make it more dark as it should be. You sure? Here, center. Connect these 2 points. Make the lines more dark. And here with this at center, you can make this line darker because it's what? It is visible. Only thing that we can see it clearly. Okay, that is it. Now we make this cylinder also darker because this can be seen. So from here, I'm going to take this point here and then connect them and make it a little bit more darker. Then take this center and now take this. And then connect them. This is point. Okay. Now connect this also. Make it a little bit more darker. And then we'll come to this one also. I'm going to do the same thing here to make this darker. So we are done with the cylinder. Now remaining one thing. The hole we have here. As you can see from the drawing, we have a hole here. And it's at the 2 sides. And this hole is 12mm diameter. So now, how do we do it? So from here to here is given us 20. So I'm going to measure from here to here 20. So now, your measure from here to here, 20. 20 here, right? So from here to here, I'm going to measure 20 also. I'm going to measure 20 from here to 20. Then this thing here is a hole. It penetrates and passes through, not just a cycle. So we now take this to upward. Have a straight vertical line. And then take it up. So now the next thing to do is, as you can see, the diameter of this small hole is given as what? 12. Therefore the radius will be 6. So now what are we going to do now? I'm going to have to draw a square at the center here. So now from here, the height of this is what is 40, and from here to here is 20. So when we divide this into 2, we take our 20, we have our center line. So let's divide this into 2. Divide this into 2, we are going to measure 20 from top line. From above here, we measure 20. 20, we are going to measure 20. Okay. Now you've cut your line here, you have your 20 millimeter, right? 20 millimeter, and then you also have your 20 millimeter from here. Okay. Now we are going to bisect this line from here. Make it like this. Bisect it like this into 2, and you divide this into 2. So now I want to take 6 here, 6 here, 6 up and down. And do the same thing here, 6 here, 6 here, 6 up, 6 down. Why? Because that's the radius. So now you can just measure 6 from your ruler, or you can measure just 1 6. Just measure 6 from here. You measure 6. See, the radius is very small. With the compass, and that's manage to do it. So now you take from here, you got to 6. From here, you got to 6. Here you have your 6, and then here also you have your 6. So come to this side also, you have your 6. From here, you also have your 6, and downward is 6, and then up, you're still going to have, here you have your 6. It's not easy to draw a small radius. It's very, very complicated to draw a smaller radius. So now, let's make a line here. Let's draw a line here. Okay. And then connect this top now. This like this. And the next one here, still do the same thing here. Cut. Here. So, as we did earlier, same method, you are going to cut your line across the diagonal here, smaller angle here. You will bisect it, so divide it into 2, like this. Like this, I'm going to do with this also. We divide this into 2, like this. So, now connect these 2 points like this. With this point and this point, you connect them like this. You connect this also. Right here. Like this, and like this, like this, so like this. So now the lesson to do is to take your compass and cut your arcs across all the sides. The arc is going to be of 6 millimeter radius. So now it's here, not 6 millimeter. So from this point here, you got very small. So sometimes you can even try to use your hand just hold it. So as you can see, the compass here might not give us what we want, but let's try, see what you can have. Yes. Now we cut from this, bend it like this. Now we come to this point also, do the same thing here, and then here. Try to this point here. Let's do it bigger, and you connect them. It's going to be very, very complicated to do a small arc. So to manage to do it. So now going to this side also, you cut an arc. Yeah. So like this. So you come here also again. You cut an arc two ends. So now it's here at center. We're now going to cut another arc here. Okay. So now we connect these two arcs. Alright. Okay. It's here at center also. We will connect this arc. And so this on the other side. So I'm going to mark to complete it. So now let me use this compass. So this one is together. So here's center. We now cut an arc. Now cut an arc here. Now cut an arc here. So here it is. Now also for this one, we cut an arc here. So this compass is giving me headache. So now it's here center. We cut and we make an arc here. So if you decide to use hand, also just correct it because it's a very small arc. It will not be noticed. So now, by doing this, to make it looks as if there is a hole. See, there is a hole inside. You just come here, you just cut it. Like you can use your French hole. Decide to use hand. Anyone you use is going to give you a bit. So if you like, you can use your hand to cut it. But this is even smaller. You can even use hand to just cut it to have it. So once you cut it like this, just here like this, you will see that it now shows that there is a hole inside. So now cut this one also. Show like this. So as you can see, now the drawing can clearly be seen. Sorry, the thing just shakes. That's why. Okay, it's alright. So this is it. I hope there is nothing wrong here. I think so. Everything is intact. So this video is brought to you by U23CoLangs Academic Committee, which I, Zugo, the tutor, made it, and with the help of video recorder David from Computer Engineering, U23. So wish you success in the exam. Thank you.